Hello, everybody, and welcome back to slightly improved resolutions. And you can see it's still got a little bit of crust from when it cracked. Okay, so I played through this mission once, and I had pretty much beaten it. But then at the end, it did that thing where it just runs really slowly and then runs really quickly. And when it decided to run really quickly, it overheated me until I died.
And I think I cut out that attempt because, like...
Oh yeah, because it's super long. But
because it would have been twice as much for literally waiting until the mission crashes.
But it didn't really crash. It just the heat in this game doesn't exactly pause when you pause, or it's on a different clock than the rest of the elements. But you need to be a mech with jump jets because you start on top of one of those things.
It's all missed.
Yeah. And I'm just flying through the air, and those all missed, I think, because the lock-on wasn't on anymore, but I'm not certain. Maybe they were just going so fast. So now we're having an aerial battle.
Sweet.
You know,
it's like Zone of the Enders.
And you can see that guy just flew all the way across and slammed into the wall over there.
Is the gravity just this low on this planet or something?
No, I have jump jets, and I was jetting down.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutdown sequence overridden.
Yeah, them shutdown sequences though. This is the sort. So something I didn't really lock in on during this playthrough was there's certainly a number of medium pulse lasers that is the ideal amount, but I always took too many.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutdown sequence overridden.
But pulse lasers are nice because you can just fire them forever, like they fire a continuous, like, shot, as opposed to regular ones, which just fire every once in a while.
But just kill
But yeah, it's just they produce so much more heat for the same amount of damage, but they do pour it on faster. And this is a really nice, you know, sunrise effect that they're doing. And this is Nevada.
They've actually done a pretty good job at giving you a fairly nice idea of like, you know, advancing through this location, because they added all of these rocks, you know.
Yeah.
You can see actually how the floor lays out before you.
Unlike some future levels we'll see, you can actually, for the most part, there is one part where this doesn't work well, but tell what slopes things are at, and see, there's the sunrise. Pretty. And you can tell where the ground is in general. But I do like the fact also that they still have that like yellowish edge, because as someone who lives in the desert, like when you've got dust in the air, that's what like the horizon looks like.
So a really nice attention to detail.
I don't know if it was intentional or just like part of it, like they did a fade from, you know, like through a spectrum of colors, and that just ended up being where it ended. And they're like, yeah, it looks fine. But that guy is stuck.
And also, I like the way they did the painted on shadows for this area. It almost looks like one of those stylized early games that try to do cell shading.
Oh yeah,
it
does.
Actual
it does
cell shading.
Like I don't. Yeah, because obviously there's not a lighting engine causing these shadows, but there is some, like, those shadows do change tone as you draw closer, as you see. So it's not just a static color that's being applied to that. It's a specific. It is an algorithm. It's not based off a lighting engine, but. I mean, wouldn't.
Everything sort of shifts and changes depending on how close you are to them. It's just, you know, the joys of early 3D graphics.
I wonder if that's because the color for it is being set based on your distance, or if because they put the like mini layers on top of each other and they're popping in. You know what I mean?
What I think they did was basically the closer you are, the more polygons are put.
See, there I ran into something that you can see. Oh, and the bright ones load in later.
Yes, something like that. So like when you're far away, it's like, let's say 5 polygons, and when you get closer, it gets more definition and they switch textures. You actually see that a lot. You actually see that a lot in like PlayStation 1 games.
Shutdown sequence initiated.
But yeah, we both got stuck in the mountain for a while because
Between the
collisions.
origami
Shutdown
mountains.
sequence
Yes.
initiated. Shutdown sequence overridden.
I like, and there you can see his beautiful Jade Falcon. See, it's so much better with this time with the, because basically you're just getting a higher resolution version of the game. And it's not crammed into a tiny window where I had trouble reading things.
Exactly. I mean, I had trouble reading whether or not the mission has been failed or not. I just like I had to recheck the video after I edited it because otherwise I just could not read it. Because like the window you get is small, the window I get is even smaller,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
it's even smaller because it's a widescreen recording.
Yeah.
They put into a 4:3 frame.
Oh, and then I was gonna say, this is where we see some things that, this is the only time we see them. Elementals. Those are man-sized, like, tech suits. And you'll notice that I've got my missiles locked onto them, and that's entirely necessary because if you get close, they are like so tiny, their hitboxes.
They're
It's
also
just
really,
like-
really fast.
They are really fast, and they're adorable, and I could have run up to them and showed them to you because they look funny. But I was like, nah, I'll just kill them. We'll see more of them when we get to Clan Ghost Bear. There's a lot of them in that. But this mission is sort of weird because I don't know if just they weren't working or what, but there's supposed to be. So there's this. What you're doing is you're trying to capture a command vehicle. So there's a vehicle with, command staff for the military peoples. Oh, and also you can sidestep with your jump jets. Look at that. And there's a bunch of turrets and these assault vehicles guarding it. But the assault vehicles don't really. Maybe their pathfinding's just that bad. That's entirely believable. But they don't really go up to you. So basically, you can just pick off all the turrets who don't have any long-range weapons, and then bend your missiles around the mountain at the vehicles. So, I mean, this is like an actually good tactic. One of the few you'll see in this series for me. And then I hit the mountain on accident.
I do also like that they did make sure to make the rendering distance a lot bigger for this area on average.
I've got some disappointments related to that for later episodes. But yes,
Well, I mean,
yes, this one, the
considering
distance
what
being
is
long-
on this mountain, on this map, it was feasible because it's very simplistic elements spread far apart. They did put enough thought to actually have them render because there is few and far apart.
And it really impresses on you the size of these giant rock structures. So this is the beginning of the computer's just going to cheat from now on because we couldn't actually make AI that's intelligent enough to make this difficult. So this guy is endlessly firing pulse lasers at you. Remember how quickly that overheats you and how you can't fit enough heat sinks to actually make that work
But
out?
the enemy doesn't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Heat sink.
What was that message that popped up? Anyway, so the idea is supposed to be that they tell you, oh, the dropship's coming, just hold out, but there's only one mech left, so either it's going to kill you or you're going to kill it. There's not really, and it tries to kill the command vehicle before.
Before it tries to kill you.
Sequence initiated. Shutdown
Yeah, so I don't
sequence overridden.
really get it. It should just be like, either they should send a lot of waves of weak guys at you, you know, if that's what they're going for. But I don't know.
I'm just running away now.
Well, walking slowly away. When you shoot their arms off, a lot of mechs will do that. I think it's because they might not have weapons anymore. Because a lot of times your weapons are mounted.
Secondary objective
And done.
successful.
Well, yes, but there's a dust-off zone. You got to go to where the dropship's going to meet you. So you gotta. So here comes the dropship, and I'm walking over to it, and I'm figuring, yeah, right around here-ish, yeah, because this would be a meaningful place next to the command vehicle.
Friendly dropship has arrived at dust-off site. Primary objective.
I also do love how the dropships just like
command vehicle.
hover
Successful. Proceed to
in the air,
dust-off
but
zone for extraction.
proceed to dust-off zone for extraction. Dust-off site is the command vehicle, so you have to walk up and give it a little peck on the cheek.
You have to give it a kiss for goodbye.
Yep. And I didn't want to run into it accidentally and blow it up and then get a mission failed, so I was being paranoid. But yeah.
You have to scan your passport.
So you can see how like the design of these wolf missions is just generally better than the Falcon ones, and that was one of the more simplistic ones. We'll get to there's been a few, and there will be more that are just far more complex also.